I'd like to show you NewsGate's events. Events have been in the system since the upgrade last October, but we really don't use them very much because there were so many other new features in the October upgrade, they sort of got overshadowed. Events can be a very useful planning, scheduling, and calendaring tool, and I think the best way to show you how it works is just to show it to you. I'm going to go into NewsGate, and here's a normal NewsGate window, and I'm going to start by creating a new event. And if you look up here, there's a button, New Event, which most of us have probably overlooked since it showed up in October. I'm going to select New Event, and I get a small window which provides the fields that I have to fill in to create the new event. I'm going to enter my event. I'm going to enter the summary.
So don't even worry about doing the transactions, but let me check with you.
I'm going to enter a desk, and here you would enter just a normal desk. I'm going to use innovation because that's the neighborhood we use for testing, but you use whatever field, whatever neighborhood you would normally use. I'm going to enter a start time and an end time, and I'm going to select this to be in March 25th. Now, I have to give it a time. If you don't have a time, if it's an all-day event or you just want to mark something like Christmas, still give it a time just so it'll show up in the calendar. So I'm going to say 9 a.m. and we need to put in an end time, so I'll say 5 p.m. on March 25th. Go to March, select the 25th. I don't have to put in a location, but I can if I want to.
No, that's something that
and now I'm going to press OK and Go To, and that will create the event. Now if you look, the event is actually just a story folder, but it has the state of event. If you think about it, an event is just like a baby story folder. It's like a seed that can grow into a story folder someday. And all I need to do for that to happen would be to go to my story folder properties, and under details, change the state from event to active. Now let me show you how we can view events on a calendar, because I think that's probably one of the most useful tools. I'm going to go ahead and make a new event list, and the way I do that is go to one of these arrows here, and I'm going to select New Event List. And now I'm just going to tell it the data I'm looking for. I want to see events with the date. Let's have it be from March 1st to March 31st. And even though you don't see it on the calendar, you can see up here March 1st to March, you can't see it, but it's the 31st. I'm going to choose the desk innovation, and it'll take just a minute to build. Now, I'm seeing state active. What I actually want are the events. So let's look at event. Now here's a nice list of events, and you can see the Shannon baby shower that I just entered. But if you go to view and select month, it will show me a calendar view of these events. If you look in here, we have dog parade, bridal show, and down there, Shannon baby shower. If I just put the mouse and hover over it, it provides me with some details. It shows me the state. It would show me the editor if I had assigned one. Oops, it went away. You get the idea. It shows basic information. I can also take action on this story folder, this event, from here by right-clicking. I can make a text assignment. I can go to properties and turn it into an active story folder. I can make a print package or an online package. So if you think about it, this could be fairly useful. It's sort of like the old-fashioned, those of you that are as old as me or older, or a little younger maybe, will remember the tickler, which was a file that you take press releases and put the press releases in for December 10th, and then when December 10th came around, you pull out the file and you can see all the events on December 10th. Well, in this case, if we enter these as events, we can see what's happening on each day. So if I was the weekend editor working on March 22nd, I can see the Olympics are on March 22nd, I can see the bridal show is on March 22nd, and if I decide I want to send a reporter to cover it, from this view of the calendar, I can just select bridal show, make an assignment.
Okay, but at least we got you the 8-hour sick time. Okay.
Make it a whopping
So
12 lines. I can assign it to a
I will
reporter.
confirm that with Yolanda, but
From this view, I can even make my
I would hate
online
to-
package.
Nope, that doesn't apply. Take away from
I'm not going to go ahead and do that, but you get the idea. I can turn it into an active story folder
Okay. Yeah.
by going to details
Give me a 53 hours.
and changing event
All right.
to
Okay, no
active.
problem. Bye.
And now that event has grown into an active story folder. The reason it disappeared from my list is because this calendar is only showing items with the state of event. But if I want to, I can choose to have active and event, and it will show all items
Hey.
that either have the state of event or have the state of active and have an event in them with a start time and an end time. Now, if I really like this list, if every day I wanted to see what innovation items were coming for March, I can just go ahead, add to palette, choose my favorite lists, and save this as my event list. And now every time I go to my lists, my favorite lists on the side, I can select my event list, and I'll get this list of items. Let me run through that once more because I know this is a little bit, it's fairly straightforward, but it also is a lot being thrown at you. And learning it by video is a little bit of an awkward way of learning, but let's do it one more time. So from anywhere in NewsGate, I'm going to create a new event by pressing the new event button. I'm going to give my event a name. I'll give it a summary. I'll give it a desk, which I've done innovation. Give it a start and end time. March 10th. And we'll go to 11 a.m. on March 10th. March 10th. I'm not going to leave a location here. We'll let them guess. They're DEs. Okay, and go to. And now if I go to my event list, you see how it has one added to it? You'll see, oops, I dropped the pointer. Deputy editors offsite is listed there. One thing a lot of people have asked is, can you make events over a range? And you can. That's what we did with Olympics. Let's say we have the Democratic Convention coming up. This is something Marcia Prouse actually did just after the training. She went ahead and made an entry for Democratic Convention. I can make a new event, Democratic Convention in Denver. I have to give it a start and end time, so I'll just make one up. But let's have it run from March 3rd to March 6th. When I say OK and go to, oops, I have to give it a better name. How about Democrats Convention? Oops, how about if I spell it right? And now if I go to my list, there you see the Democratic Convention. I think one place this could be really useful would be something like sports or let's say, city council meetings, you can go in and enter, a whole season at a time. It would be a terrible task to have to enter the whole Lakers season, but I can see usefulness here where we know the Lakers are going to play the Suns on March 12th, so we put in Lakers Suns. We don't need any more detail. We'll make up a time, or maybe we'll use the real time to help our planning. March 5th. We'll have it go till 8 p.m. on March 5th. Oops. And now on my calendar, Lakers Suns. If I was in sports, I'd view a calendar of just the sports neighborhoods, and I could see all of the games that are going on any specific day. I know this is a lot of material that people are keeping in separate files like in Word or story files, and if you keep them here, it becomes a real useful planning tool. Plus, you don't have to re-enter it. You eliminate that double work. I could just go in and say, okay, Lakers Suns, obviously we're going to cover it. I'm going to assign that story to our top Lakers reporter, Shannon Monsanti, and change the story folder to active. Oops, properties. And now we have an active story folder. So I think what I'd like everyone to get out of this is that I think Event really has a lot of potential. It can be really good for planning, for scheduling and calendaring. If you have any questions, just give me a call at 7789, or you can same time or email me. What I think would be best is if you just sort of play around with it and see, talk to your coworkers and see if there's some ideas of how you might use it. And maybe if you need me to come and explain some more stuff in person, I'd be glad to do that. Okay? I think we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much. Good luck.